dear colleagues in presidency, dear colleagues and friends, and the whole ladies and gentlemen. In the name of Dr. Boris Sila, who is present here in the hall, and the name of the other colleagues from the Faculty of Sport in Ljubljana, I would like to present some findings from the research studies on sport recreational activities of Slovenian people. It's really long far ago, in 1974, that research work on this field began. From till now, 70 studies has been prepared on this field and realized by the Faculty of Sport in Ljubljana, together with the Faculty for Social Science, University of Ljubljana. This cooperate between these faculties was really in high level, and one part, our faculty, prepared the questionnaire, and the Faculty for Social Science collected the data for many, many years. The leader of and pioneer of this investigation from the whole years, this longitudinal study, was Professor Dr. Krešimir Petrović, very well scientist in the area of sociology of sport. And together with Dr. Ankica Hoček-Momirović and Dr. Konstantin Momirović, they prepared the first investigation, the first research. They believe that with this research, we easy to plan the program on recreational sport in the field of recreational sport. Not just easy to plan, but to know a lot of things. What can do in this? What kind of motivated? What kind of? How many people are active in the field of recreational sport? And is there any connection between social demographic characteristic and this area? And later, to this team came Dr. Franci Ambrozic, who is a specialist on the methodology of sport and statistical point of view. Dr. Miroš Van, today's dean in faculty, who is unfortunately not here. Dr. Mojca Dopona-Topić, a specialist on the field of sociology of sport today. Dr. Boris Sila, I mentioned, is specialist and is expert in the field of recreational sport and of fitness. Me and the younger Dr. Maya Pori. All researches have been carried out on a representative sample of people, of course, different age, from the young to the older, both gender, male, female, different level of education, different residential areas and regions, because Slovenia has a different north, east, west, south part, and it's quite different with respect on this area recreational sport activities. In all studies, having examined and classified forms and participation in sport activity as organized sport, non-organized sport as a competitive. So if you're talking about organized sport, we believe, or experts believe, that with these activities are more efficiency, more healthy, and more cheaper. Usually they're group, leading by some specialists, which done Faculty of Sport of Ljubljana or the others. Non-organized sport and a competitive sport. If we are talking about competitive sport, we means that kind of activities, which the subjects are active through the whole years, 2, 3 or more times per week. But it's not to compare with Olympic Games or championships, something like that. No, so competitive sport on the recreational sport field. One example of where it's possible to prepare the programs for organized sport, unorganized, in clubs, and some other organization, individual sport programs, connection together with medical applicative sport programs, which is, I believe, tomorrow or the next in the future will be more progress in this area. The leader on this area has to knowledge how to motivate and so on. And this is why it's better to be in organized kind of sports. All studies analyze the types of sport activity as regular sport, occasionally sport, and inactive, of course. We know that regular sport is that one in which the subjects are active 2, 3, or more times. Dr. Petrovic, the beginner, and Dr. Momirovic believe that it's possible to study some habits of Slovenian people, inclusion, sport, and lifestyle, and to find the attitude towards recreational sport in general. And they didn't make a mistake on this. Each snapshot of this longitudinal study analyzed correlation between sport activity and some demographic characteristic as gender, age, level of education, job position, area of residence, and the others. If we are talking about gender, yes, gender has and had the whole time great influence on sport recreational participation in Slovenia. And we found how gradually increase this proportion. We know very well that in the beginning, the correlation or if you're talking about between men and women, relation between men and women, it was against 1 to 4. 1 woman, 4 men. 10 years later, this relation was 2 against 2,5, and then 1 against 1,3. Nowadays, we found no differences at all. So it's quite progress in this. And in the same time, we found the quality of life, of female life, how this influences recreational sport activities and their professional career, economical independence, and the others. The question is, why we found such a progress in this field of women involved in recreational sport activities? Different programs prepared by different organizations, especially gymnastics in different kind, leading, as I said, by leaders. At the same time, the program at the wellness centers, especially for women. And in Slovenia, very well known some actions with running. Here we see the ladies preparing for a marathon in Ljubljana, we call like this in Slovenia. In action, students, girls, then ladies, adults. Nordic walking was in the last time very popular activities in Slovenia too. So one of the reasons why it's such a progress we can find in these different programs, special workshops will be prepared and so on. Age has significantly distinguished young and old population. It's quite understandable. With age, sport recreational activities decrease. And today, more old people include sport recreational practice into their lifestyle. This is true. We find how it's important to be active in the third part of life. And we find also that the generation who practiced 10, 20 years ago and who made a lifestyle with full of recreational sport activities, nowadays they are in 60s, in 17 years old. I belong to one of this generation. The old lady here in the middle is one of the examples in action. Previous studies have also shown positive correlation between the level of education and sport recreation participation at all, from the first beginning to the end. Nowadays, sport activity depends less on the level of education. Here you see on these slides the comparison, or from the beginning, from early beginning, 1973, to the whole periods, how increase and decrease the activities on this field, and how many people are involved. In the right side we have variables, including the questionnaire. Through the whole year till now, the first sample was for those who are 18 years old. Then we came to the European Union, and the sample we collect the man and the girl with 15 years old. Here, sport activity relative to age in 2004. We can see the limit was the very first investigation in 15 years old, then 60s, like we can see here. And more very interesting picture how was the differences between the first and in study 2004. With those who are regularly active, 200% more progress than this. If the level of education is indicator for more active, that means very simple, that government will or have to promote more education. With more education, more knowledge about physical activity and health means more active on recreational sport activities. Here is the scale. We came from 7 groups to 3 for a little or for better understanding, and the results, these 3 periods or 4 periods, 1973 till the last research in 2008. We see where were the differences. One of the main questions in these researches was how often do you participate in sport? In 1996, we see every day 4.6%, and never about 50%. And if you compare this with the year 2008, we see here such a progress. Every day 11%, never just 28.8. If you're talking about age, the same as I said, these generations come to 70s, and now the limit, I suppose, will be now and from a decade later, maybe in 80s. To be old doesn't mean not to be active. Opposite. One of the interest questions is what kind of sports do practice the people of Slovenia. In the old studies, we found 4 or 3. The first topic: recreational sport activities, walking, swimming, cycling. Same. No differences between gender, male or female. Nowadays, it's a little different between women or male and female. You see in football, of course, it's very natural. But there are coming new activities, special programs in fitness, dancing, and the others. The question is why it's so popular, these 4 topics, activities. As you know, Slovenia is a very beautiful country on the sunny side of the earth, with a lot of forests, lakes, rivers. Beautiful nature invite them to be active. Walking in winter time. I said Nordic walking was progress in all time of year. Winter, I mean here is autumn. Then swimming, a special program we have for swimming at schools. I'll see a little later. Skiing, Slovenia is a snow country, so we believe that with this program we can improve recreational sport activity in Slovenia in general, especially in groups, some variant of snowboarding and the other activities. I said fitness. Now here we see differences, as I said, between male and female in the last research 2008. No anymore significant results, no differences anymore. Which is, I believe, or experts believe, we are just like topic countries on this. In Europe, we can compare with Finland, Sweden. So, one man, one woman. Perfect. The question is, for the next, can we do any more on this, and why? As we heard Dr. Opatija many years talk us about how it's important to come motor activities very early in the family, and we practice something about this in gymnasium halls with the special programs, in swimming pools, a lot of programs for children, very interesting, and it's very motivating for them. You believe, no afraid of water. It seems to be some kind of water with the children like this. On snow, ski school is quite a good organization in Slovenia, and we try to put more of this walking in school, a special program for involved children and families in action, like I said, marathon in Ljubljana. So it's prepared for lifestyle in the next period of the life. Slovenia has a lot of mountains to be climber, maybe. So spectre of activities we have to put to the childhood. Family together in the lakes, different ways of rowing in the lake of Bohin or someplace, it doesn't matter. Group together. The question of comparison between European countries, where we are, where Slovenia really is, if we are looking sport recreation activities. If you see some place in the middle, So Finland, Sweden, Denmark, Ireland, and the Netherlands are ahead of us. But Luxembourg, Belgium, Germany, France is behind us. So we believe tomorrow on even better results. If you are talking about, of course, how many times the people are active, 1 to 3 or 5 to more. It's one kind of progress. And the question is, why was so? In the 17 years old till 80, 85, we promote a special action we call TRIM. Here is some pictures to remind us on that times. Very well known 4 actions: walking, cycling, swimming, skiing. The whole country, some part of countries, some part of the country of Slovenia, cycles, TRIM, and so on. Very interesting action, which results we can solve them in this result study. Slovenia in bike, by Olympic Committee of Slovenia Sport of All organization. Slovenia on bike is one of those for promote daily recreational sport activities in different kind of nature in Slovenia. Slovenia Run is another one, and we want to run a little faster on this field of recreation to be more healthy, to be, as I said before, to connection with the medical kind. For the end, one of the future view, we need more sports facilities, especially if we're talking about cycling. We have no cycling roads like Austria or Germany. So we have to prepare this for safety cycling. Then we have nature plans, national parks, and so on. We promote outdoor and indoor activities. Of course, swimming hall, cross-country facilities, and the others. And in the old part of life of Slovene people, home, school, work site, wherever they live. At the end, I want to express that we believe with a new start like this paraglider to next period, I think we find the trend and go ahead in this recreational sport field in Slovenia. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much.